How's it going, everyone? We are the Quaternity of Dice. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of our Campaign 1 of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, utilizing the remaster rules. My name is Chris. I am your Game Master, or GM for short. I'll be leading these lovely players on their journey through our adventures. Um, and my players are, introduce yourself again, for anyone who doesn't know.
Hey, I'm Alex Markey. I play Kaya Vespagen.
I am Jalen J. Perez. I'll be playing as Orion Day.
And my name is Brent Andrew Scavish, and I remembered it this time. My character's name, I must have is Zavi Advan.
All right, thank you. So we're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Pathfinder is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game where the players take on the roles of fantasy heroes, utilizing skills such as magic, swords, shields, bows and arrows, things of that sort. And they will utilize their skills and abilities to solve interesting things going on. There's some weird plots, fight interesting monsters and creatures, and be general heroes. Before we get started, Abby, let's talk about our social medias.
Yeah. Please make sure that you follow us on all our social medias, Facebook, TikTok. All the links are down in the description. We look forward to engaging with all of you.
And then, Brent, would you care chit-chatting a little bit about, our experience with the game so far and what you might expect from us?
So far, I mean, we are all a bunch of mostly D&D players, so we are still becoming accustomed to Pathfinder and the rule set. So sometimes we may mess up, but we're learning. We would love to have advice no matter what, but we are all enjoying this so far, learning the different actions that can be done, all the different maneuvers. Like, I tumbled through last session, and I never even thought of that in D&D, so, I mean, we're learning. Come, watch us, learn with us, help teach us. We want to make this enjoyable. Just remember, be nice. We're learning.
Also, please remember, if you are a fan of Pathfinder, if you're knowledgeable of it, we are utilizing our own world in this game. It is not the one published in the books, so if things don't seem quite right upon first listening or watching us, that's why. Please also note there will be a series coming soon, a video series with me, that's going to be talking about the lore of the world. The world is called Engliria. I'll be going over a basic understanding. I'm not going to fill too much, I'm not going to throw too much at you guys at once, but at least enough to get you to understand what's going on, what you're seeing, what you're hearing about, things of that sort. But I think that's enough talking. I think we can. Well, we're going to be talking all night, but not talking before we start the game. Jay, before we get started, anything to tell everyone?
Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget everyone out there in internet land.
All right, we'll see you guys back in a few seconds after our little opening, and we'll get started playing. And we're back. Let's get started with our session today. So, slight recap. You guys have been focusing in town. You're in the city of Syota. We'll start off in the city of Syota, which is part of the continent of Soriko. I know the two names are kind of similar in their beginning sound, and so there's been a little bit of confusion here or there. But the city is Syota, the continent is Soriko. When you guys had landed there, fleeing from the circus stuff, you guys had found the water had the fresh water supply had dried up. The river, the south of town, had completely stopped running, and you guys had offered your services in figuring out why. In exchange, you guys would get free passage from Syota over to Hokkien, which is your guys' goal to go to, because there's information about who framed you, potentially in Hokkien. You guys finally, last session, actually 2 sessions ago, ventured out into the desert, looking for the source of what happened to the water, and you found it. You found it. A bunch of uh, plants had grown over the river and blocked it up, and then the ground around the sands around it had been kind of terraformed slightly to make a new bowl to catch all this new reservoir. And all the water hit that dam of plants and then filled up the reservoir, made a brand new small pond, actually large pond, small lake. Um, and at the end of 2 sessions ago, you found out that there's a bunch of people here using this gigantic ritual spell to make this stuff happen, to help with the ground, to help keep the water going, staying stable, and to help keep the plants there. Um, you also had discovered that the reason they're doing this is there was a Naiad who had claimed this new reservoir, this new lake, as her domain. Um, and 2 sessions ago, at the very end, Zavi had come face to face with it and had become charmed by her. Then last session, you guys decided to take her on, to go on the offensive. Uh, Ryan threw, I think it was a javelin to start off with, and or a spear or something to start off.
No, it's definitely javelins.
There you go. Started things off. Zavi, while being charmed, could not directly attack her, but could attack her lackeys nearby. And then she had a mage running towards you guys, and he joined in the fight. Two of them versus you guys. You guys went through the fight brilliantly, did a great job. For a full play-by-play on that, we have a video before the Star Tavern talks about it, but I'm not going to do it right now. After the fight, you guys discovered you killed the Naiad and left the druid alive, and you discovered that all this was because of her wanting a new domain, a new source. She had charmed, not by magic, but by, being nice to the druid and appealing to his humanity to help her. But the others in this circle have all been charmed by seemingly each other. You guys been investigating around, figured out what was going on. You stopped it, utilizing the druid who you had saved. His name is Ahiri. You guys utilized his help and stopped this whole thing. And all the people, a mixture of a couple of mages from the prestigious Society of the Unseen Sun, the magic organization in Engliria, and then the rest of them were guards from Syota who had been captured here utilizing this spell set. You saved them all, and they all decided to go back to what they were doing. The mages stayed behind to fix the damage they'd caused. And then you guys and the guards went back to Syota. They did break apart a lot of the mages did break apart a lot of the plant growth that had been there. Water started flowing again, and by the time you guys arrived back in Syota, water was flowing. Not as heavy as it's supposed to. It's going to take a little bit to fully get there, but it is going. You guys had a small gathering waiting for you because they had seen the trickles of water the day before. And so you have fans that are here thanking you. We left off on you guys getting, an applause from this small crowd. Kaya getting not a piggyback ride, but like a horsey ride from a centaur, Ilsu, and giving him a small rock that you had painted. It was like a hedgehog, was that? Hedgehog? And he told the rest of you that all three of you were being asked to speak with the city lord, an elf by the name of Gaku Nakagawa, and the prefect of the area, another elf named Kaiko Ueda. And we begin with you guys being led up to them. The two of them, along with their their attendants and a few guards are standing on a rug that had been thrown down over top of the pathway and some of the sand, so they wouldn't be stepping directly on the sand. Um, they don't have too much around them, but they do have small chairs that have been brought up in case they need to wait a while for you guys to arrive. Um, they are not sitting though at the moment. They are actually clapping with everybody else, thanking you guys for what you've done. And when you walk up with Elsu, the two of you walk up, one of you rides up with Elsu. He does this and bows, and they actually bow as well at him, and he stops. And the city lord, male elf, Daku, he's wearing very, very fine robes. He's immensely tall, or even for an elf by elf standards, a little bit over 7 foot. Um, he has very sharp features. He looks. Think of the way people think of teachers in school. How they like, if you look the wrong way, you're gonna get like the wrap on your finger, on your knuckles. That's that's the city lord here. He's very sharp featured. With jet black hair and actually a slight tan, like olivish colored skin, um, and black eyes. The female elf, the prefect by extension, is almost the exact opposite. She's a bit shorter by elven standards. Her robes look like they're supposed to be nice. It's all silk. Um, However, she's wearing colors that don't quite seem to match, as though she's trying to stand out in some shape or form. She's also slightly tan, but her cheeks are rosy, and not from like, oh, she's hot. She's got heat stroke or something. No, it just looks like she's happy. And um, underneath here, it looks like she had laugh lines. Um, she had brilliant green eyes with long red hair. It's braided really nice. The braids itself almost form some sort of like crown shape, with flowers dabbled in here and there. Uh, the first person to speak to you is Gaku, and he stands straight up and looks at you. And are you the ones that saved our water?
Who's
I'm gonna
asking?
I'm gonna dust my coat off, and I'm gonna grab the tails of my coat and give a curtsy and be like, yes.
Did you climb down off of Elsu, or are you standing up on Elsu's back doing that?
Nope, I'm doing it on Elsie's back.
He looks he looks at you and he goes, "Well, I appreciate you being at my height. Thank you. Um, so, what made you want to do this?"
Mm.
Uh, a promise made to us, as well as had some time to waste.
I see. I
So,
see. Something to
well,
add.
sure. We were looking for passage to Hook Handle, and we had noticed that there seemed to be some problems. And the harbor master had said that if we solved it, we could have passage for free to Hook Handle, but that he didn't think it was likely that we could fix it.
He thought we were a joke.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Nor do I. So, I am to guess that the three of you did not do this from the kindness of your hearts. And more, it was just time to kill
I
and boat
mean,
passage.
it's nice to help out. I
I,
mean,
there was
you got a
clearly
nice
a
city here.
problem.
How about one of you at a time?
Go ahead,
The
Zavi.
Yes, the Venara fellow.
I mean, it's a nice town you got here. I mean, no one's really been mean or anything since we've been here. I mean, kindness of our heart, doesn't hurt to help out, you know.
At this point, Kaiko, who has been kind of shifting uncomfortably, looks over and she goes, "Are you done being mean to them? They did help us. Whether they did it for their own causes or for money, doesn't matter. They helped us. Shut up." And he kind of looks at her like, "Did she just tell me to shut up?" Before straightening himself and saying, "You're right. You're right. Yes, they did help. Whether it was from your own laurels or not, you did help. You did provide a good service to us." Um, so I take it to understand that you are looking into passage from Hookhandle, which means you will not be staying with us much longer than when a ship leaves. Is that correct?
Probably.
To look into to help out.
And is that the only reason you came to the city, as a layover between wherever you came from and then towards Hookhandle?
Yeah.
Yes, where we were at, there was no direct shot to hook handle, so this was the next course of action.
Right. And what, pray tell, what is your reasoning for going to Hookhandle, if I may ask?
We're very familiar with Alderney and Terra Anta. We've done extensive travel, and that's where my home is, and Zavi's home, and I think, we just want a bit of rest.
Where did
We've
you
been on the
come?
road a lot.
Where have you come from before here? And before you answer, Kaiko kind of like gives another glare and says, "That's personal to them. They don't have to. You don't have to answer. Wherever you came from does not matter. You're you. You're not harming anyone. In fact, you're helping people. I'm so sorry about him. I should have spoken first. Now, you've done us a great thing. You've done a nice thing. We know there's a few things in this town that are wrong. There's a water issue, and there is something going on with vandals in the city. We know that, and we are sorry that our city is not up to its best standard for visitors. Thank you for what you have done. I see no problem with you. I see no worry as to why some strangers would help us out, because it does seem like whether you had a personal reason or a grand reason, it does not matter. Your reasoning is nothing dangerous. Right? He looks back and yes, you're right, you're right, you're right. I'm going to stay quiet. And under her breath, she says, "Good." She says, "I do not want to keep you any longer. I just want to thank you for what you have done. And we are going to give you something. Um, where are you staying in town?"
It was, it's an inn. Zavi can't remember for the life. He,
Edge of
no, the halfling was the other person.
Edge of Stands in.
Ah, yes.
Right. Um, did you pay in advance? Okay. Well, I was going to pay the rest of your stay. Um, consider your passage to Hookhandle completely already taken care of. We'll work with our harbor master and take care of that for you. As well as, please take this. And she brings out this chest. Well, not she, but she has one of her attendants bring out a chest. Um, she says, "Would you take payment? Would you rather have it in gold or in silver pieces?"
How much are we talking?
10 gold or 100 silver. A piece.
I don't know about you guys, but 100 silver seems heavy. I'll take 10 gold for my share.
Fine. And somebody opens a chest and you see it's filled with coin. It's just filled with coin. You can see copper, you can see silver, you can see gold, you can see platinum. Um, uh, it's obviously heavy. I should actually point out that it was 2 attendants that helped carry it over. And so somebody starts counting out 10 gold pieces, puts them in a little sack and hands it to you. For the gnome lady.
10 gold pieces.
Same to you. And to our Dromar friend. Is that what you are? Are you full? No disrespect.
I respond in Elvish, Dromar, and I will take 10 gold coin, please.
And they count up 10 and give it to you. So all 3 of you can add 10 gold to what you now own. They shut the chest and begin walking away with it. She says, "Thank you again for this. I know that our city will not be up to its full glory immediately. It will take some time. But I hope that our previous tenants and previous residents do come back. Word will get spread. Uh, Word does seem to be getting quicker and quicker these days. In fact, just this morning we had received word that something happened north of us in a port city called Aldenair. We just received word of a terrible disaster there. Our local paper has a story about a small explosion that, well, not small, a large explosion that killed a small boy. Uh, but I do hope that with the speed that happened, the word here will get out as well. Quickly back to our citizens. Who is the owner of that? Is it still Alicia?
Yeah.
No, that would be Jillian.
No, Jillian was in the quartermaster.
Ah, thank you.
Right. We'll send word to her that any meals you guys are to procure today are covered. So a stipend for the whole game. Thank you again for what you have done. And we will leave you to the rest of your day, unless you have questions or comments for us.
Well, one question. I know there's more going on in this town, and we've got some more time, so I mean, we can always help a little bit more. Other than what we have been told by your quartermaster and other locals in the area, do you know of anything with the vandals or anything more that we should know of?
Um, I, I personally don't. Do you guys? He says, yes, I do. Over the past 2 days, there have been 2 more attacks, 2 more vandalisms. Um, 2 of our prized statues have been completely destroyed, sent to rubble. One of them hits quite hard. One of them is an ancestor of mine, who was a general during the war. I care not what side you had sided for, because we were all one republic now. But these monuments mean a great deal to everyone. Everyone was a player in that war. So that one does hit hard. But you said you were potentially looking into that too.
Yeah. And then I pull out the stack of papers that I got before we left.
I see. Is that all of them?
As far as I know, well, it wouldn't include the ones that happened while we were out of town, but yes, as far as I know.
May I see your lists? And he just asks for the papers.
There you go.
He takes them and he flips through for a few moments, and he finds takes out a quill, and an attendant runs over and has an inkwell, and he dips it, and he puts 2 notes next to 2 different pages, and says, "These are the ones that have been hit," and this is an update for you. Whatever information you can find about that, we would greatly appreciate it. And rest assured there'd be another reward for you, should you help us with that. I apologize for my sternness and my crassness,
Damn
but
right.
Yeah, that's under
nevertheless,
his breath. That's under his obvious breath, just like.
Damn right.
let's see if he hears it. Let's see if he hears it. No, he does not hear it. Because nevertheless, I do hope that if something does come from this, that you do let us know. And it seems that you are working on some sort of goodness.
So obviously, the one that you mentioned being your ancestor was of elven descendant. Was the other one also elven in origin?
Um, yes, no. Um, it was a lizard folk. Um, who, as you know, if you know history well, the lizard folk were on the side of the elves during the Great War, being residents of Makida and by extension Soriko. Um, this particular person was a great weaponsmith, um, and made weapons for the elven army. Um, his statue was destroyed.
Um, just out of curiosity and based on some of the information we've gathered so far, is there a region of the city that has more um, statues or tapestries regarding the people from Hokkaido than other areas? Because you might want to put more guards in those areas.
I think yes. Um, the entirety of all of this started with just elven statues. It was just from our side. We had started it during the Great War. And then it was only after the war had ended that we had decided, well, not we personally, but the citizens of Naiad and by extension Soriko had decided um, to expand to include peoples from all of the nations involved. Um, and so I would wager a guess that that part that started this might have a bit more to do with Elven. What makes you say that?
Well, we were walking through the town one night and we made notice of all of the ones that had been vandalized, and that's they all pertained to people from Hokkaido.
Oh. Um, Cheyenne. He calls over to one of the guards. A human walks over, human lady. Cheyenne, you caught that, yes? She says, yes, I did. Do as she suggests. Give more guards in the park and the surrounding areas. She says, as your will, and she walks off, clad in full armor, clanking away as she walks. She says, and he says, I hope that there is more of a pattern to be found. That still is a large area, but that is a big help. Thank you for that. Um, Anything else that you wish of us before we take over? No? All right, well, we will leave you to the rest of your day. Remember, as Tycho had said, meals are free when you are staying. We will send word ahead. We actually, Tycho says, I already sent word. While you guys were talking, I sent word. He has a, well, I know that not all of our shops are open, but there's plenty to still see and do. So enjoy your stay until you leave us. And I do hope that you will come back someday. Hopefully to a better city. And he turns and starts to walk away, and unless you guys stop him, they both get up and go. Okay. They have left. The crowd starts dispersing. Some start going over towards the river to take a look. Others just go about their business, and the energy here seems different. It definitively seems like people have a lot more hope. People, their spirits have been boosted. Um, and people as they pass, some folks still give you guys pats in the back. Elsu uh, gently lifts you off his back and says, "I am sorry that I must get back to my duties. I do not think that you would want to stay with me forever." Um, and unless you have anything for him, he takes it. He goes back this post.
Sorry, did you?
What? So you cut out.
Sorry, disappointed.
He goes, "That's okay. But the day is yours. I think that it's a bit closer to like shortly afternoon. I think at this point. Yes. So
You said it was like 4 when we got back last time.
is it like 4? Yeah. I mean that's still afternoon. I wouldn't consider that evening yet. So yeah, it's about 4. That makes sense. You guys got the night ahead of you to do what you want to. So what would you guys like to do?
I mean, an all-you-can-eat fruit buffet sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah, I'm with Zavi on that one.
So, eat.
Talk about the
Let's celebrate.
in town. Come up with a plan of what we want to do. If these things are happening at night, we can always go out and look. We can always rest and deal with it tomorrow, or yeah.
Okay, cool. You guys are really close to your inn. So you guys head on over. As you walk in, Alicia is there at the front desk. Big, huge smile on her face. She says, you guys did it. I didn't think you would. But thank you. I've received this letter stating that your meals are paid, and I received a big stack of coins. Don't even know if I counted it, but I'm not going to complain. So, this definitely sounds like more than 5 gold. So you guys have some drinks on me too. Sound good?
Perfect.
Right. And she already has a letter ready for you guys. One for each of you. And it just says, she says, give this to the person at the bar, and they will take care of that. Her name is Ari.
Did we ever ask her about anything with the vandalism?
I don't think so.
No.
Because if she owns an inn, she may have overheard it, or whoever attends bar may have overheard something. So it doesn't hurt that if we're just here to rest up and... I have a cat yelling at me. To, just try and see if something was overheard. Sometimes people get cocky.
Well, you guys are free to ask. Who's asking?
Who has the best stance with her?
And all 3 of you are pretty okay.
I have a question. Have you overheard of anything with these statues and everything being damaged in town?
I've heard some guard talking about it. Yeah. I haven't heard anything else myself. I mean, remember
Everyone
though,
staying
I'm just
here.
the front desk lady. I just check people in, check people out. Sometimes make some small rounds around to make sure everyone's done okay. But I hear a great deal of things from the front gates because I have passersby. Um, but if anyone's talking, they're not talking here at the front gate. Uh, your best bet, if you want to hear something like that, um, talk to some of the vagrants, some of the homeless that live around town. They're the eyes and the ears as long as you give them a couple coins. Do that. Talk to barmaids or bartenders. People seem to talk a bit more when they have a few drinks in them.
You know of anyone that can give a couple silver for 1 or 2 gold? Just
Yeah,
exchange.
yeah. If you guys go to get something to eat, talk to Ari. She'll exchange some money for you.
Alright.
She's a lot more on hand than I do. This just feels like all gold. I don't know. I haven't opened it. And she goes, I'm thinking of that, and she actually sets it on the camera and goes, yeah, it's all gold. Sorry, can't help you there. I'm actually going to get to counting this. So, off you pop.
That definitely caught our attention.
Oh yeah. She's glad you guys are asking questions. Like, she doesn't seem like she's weirded out.
No, I mean, seeing that it was all gold, she's like, oh yeah, now I want to count them.
Yes. That I went on the wrong pipe. You can't breathe liquid. But yes, she's curious about money because she hasn't had much coming in recently before leaving town. Anyway, you guys said you wanted to get some food, right? Abby, you have a question.
Definitely.
Okay, sorry, you were gonna ask. Anyway, so you guys make your way down the short hallway towards the mess hall, the tavern, whatever you want to call it. And there are a few people sitting inside, just a few random patrons. 3 people total. 2 sitting together and 1 sitting up by themselves. All 3 are humans. And then, of course, there is the bartender, and she is a lizard folk. And she seems to be doing some sort of like inventory count of glassware and stuff around the area as you guys enter. And when she walks in, she does see you guys and says, "Take a seat or stand, whatever. I'll get to you when I get to you. Just ask if you need something."
I'm going for a seat.
Okay. You sitting at the bar or one of the tables?
I'm sitting at the bar.
Cool. Are you guys all doing that?
I definitely am.
Okay, cool. Kaya, make an athletics check so you can climb up the stool. I'm kidding, don't do that. They have wrong, it's fine, you can get up there.
Few drinks though, it's gonna be an acrobatics check to get down.
See if you can balance. There's no backs on these bar stools. So she hears you
No, Kaya on the bar.
Ari hears you guys sit down, and she stops what she's doing and writes them down with a parchment and puts it on the counter behind her. She says, "Do the 3 of you need something?"
Food and drink. And I show her.
Figures, that's why you're here.
And we
Whoops.
Fruit.
What?
letter.
Any fruit. Oh,
Cool.
what?
Kaya said she's giving the letter in over that Alicia had given you guys. You guys do the same thing? Take it all 3 of you.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
Okay, cool. She takes it and she goes, "Okay, fair enough. Don't eat too much. I don't want to have to worry about the tab on that one. And
Like
she takes
the
you
giant
guys.
buffet.
Because we don't have a buffet. We can place an order, and she gives some menus to you guys. They have like printed market menus of what they offer food wise and drink wise. And obviously, you guys are able to get your fill. I'm not going to go into detail what the exact menu is. It's just food. It's food. It's good. Um, and whatever you guys order, she writes down, takes it over to the kitchen, gives it to them, and you guys have your plates. Um, uh, and drinks. She gives you guys drinks as well on the house. And now I'm curious. Do any of the three of you want anything weird, food or drink wise? Like, are you guys just like, I just want like basic tavern food and ale, or is there anything just strange?
I find it strange because I'm thinking of sausage links, meat sandwich, BLT, sausage and eggs, egg salad on top of that with beans mixed in.
So
One
protein.
veggie burger with
So yeah, pretty much, and at least 2 meat
Okay.
and skooma if they have skooma like that or something close to skooma.
They don't have drugs.
Ah,
If they did, they wouldn't tell you
I would
about it.
anything like Jameson?
They do have tons of meads, tons of regular ales, wines. Still not much fresh water. They have teas, coffees, milk, things of that sort.
I'll definitely get put in order for me for horchata.
What?
Horchata.
Ricotta.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's totally doable here. Protein they have for days. That's fine. You're a big, strong guy. What's that?
Veggie burger with pineapple.
That can be arranged. That's fine. Fine. They can do that.
Oh, and an imported cider.
Yeah, that works. An imported cider. Um, they've got pear cider, blueberry, and raspberry cider, and apple.
Oh, no blackberry? No one had blackberry.
Fine, they fucking have blackberry. They have that too.
They have something that looks like blackberry.
Yes, that's what it is. It's boysenberry. So yeah, that's doable. Whenever you first ask for veggie burger, though, she goes, "Let me go ask real quick on that." And she runs over to the kitchen area and talks to him. You hear from uh, the back room, vegetable burger. I I guess fine, I can do that. Um, and she comes back out and says, "Yeah, he can do that. Unless you heard, then you know he can do that." Fine, fair enough. And Kaya, what would she give it?
Just like some fish and vegetables. We're near the sea, so like they gotta have fish.
Yeah, fish for days.
And
All kinds.
Then the sweetest wine that they have, like juice, sweet.
Okay. She brings you a very nice. Yeah, I guess it kind of like a rosé. Um, and so you guys have that, and they're happy. You guys didn't go crazy. That's fine enough. Your smorgasbord of meat comes out in a couple of different waves. The rest of you guys have just one serving each. Um, although at one point your plate of meat seems to be floating as it comes out until you realize there's somebody underneath of it holding it up, and it's just a very, very short person. And when they put it down on the counter, with help from Ari, you see a halfling fella, very, very dirty from his time in the kitchen, very messy. Uh, Hair pulled back, sandy blonde hair pulled back, impish looking, very, very mischievous looking, but sweaty from his time in the kitchen. And he hustles back in because he doesn't like being out. And he's wearing shoes. Weirdly, it's not normal for halflings to be wearing shoes, but he seems to be. Um, out of curiosity, do any of you like? You all see it. It's very easy to see. But do any of you give a weird look at it?
I would for sure give a weird look at it.
Okay. And so
Let's give
Ari
him a
can.
change now because of him running away. Go for it.
Um, Ari notices you give a weird look at his feet, and she goes, "It's for sanitary purposes."
Oh, that would make sense. That would make
And also, he spilled hot oil on himself.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, that definitely hurts.
Right. But she leaves you guys be and comes and refills if you need it or if you request it. Beyond that, you're kind of left to your devices. So, are you going to eat and talk? What's your guys' goal the rest of the night? At this point, probably not by 5 o'clock. By the time you get your food.
I was thinking to just discuss anything about the vandalism in town. See what our next course of action should be with that. Because, I mean, if we got time here, might as well see if they pay us any more.
Fair enough. And considering now the list is shorter for which statues to watch out for, we can nail it down to what the next target is.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have.
So,
Go ahead.
with the information, was it just a list, or do we have like a map-ish of the city that shows us where they have been hit?
It's just a list. Map shouldn't be too hard to find if you want one, but as of right now, you don't have one. Are you pulling? Are you guys looking over the stuff while you're sitting at the bar,
Yeah.
or are you gonna like wait till you go back to your room or something?
I feel like I would intentionally have pulled it out in case Ari saw it and wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
Because I was going to say, we could ask the bartender to give us a notice of what statues haven't been touched yet.
Well, you have a list of the ones that haven't been touched. I mean,
Well, exactly where they are in the city.
I gotcha. So yeah, as you guys are going over stuff, she does seem to question it. It's a stack of papers. Of course, it's interesting. And she doesn't peek and stare at you or anything, but she just kind of casually as she walks past, look at it and go, "You working on something?"
We're attorneys. I'm kidding.
What is it? Oh, you're
Yes.
attorney. Oh,
No,
it's pretty good
we're
use.
working on something.
This is all the monuments and the ones that have been vandalized.
You're helping with that too?
Yeah.
Like the go-getters. Interesting. Well, find anything interesting?
Just a small pattern. Not sure if there's much to go on yet.
Gotcha. Well, if you need any help with questions about town, I hear you guys are newcomers. Ask away.
Question about table. Whenever Gaku was talking to the one guard, I assume it was, and he said something about the park. Would I assume that is where the majority of the Makaido statues would be found?
It's Makaida. A at the end.
Makaido. Okay.
Get it right. I'm kidding. He referenced that's where it all started. The park had a little memorial area where they had initially put statues, and that was during the Great War. They would, as someone heroic made some kind of achievement, they would get memorialized in this little garden park area, um, and that was only for elves and lizard folk. Those are the two ancestries that were in Makita, uh, and then by extension in Soriko, whenever the Great War was going on. This city being founded by people that had been attempting to see the rest of the world. But after the Great War, they had decided to expand and allow and start commissioning more from other ancestries and other countries around our continents around the Republic, because they wanted to show memorial to everyone that was part of this. And so it's not. He didn't specifically state that it was only at this time people from Makita. It's just that's where they started. So potentially there could be more. Like, I guess it makes sense for your characters to infer that there potentially could be more, specifically in that area. Like maybe a heavier, presence of Makita based memorials versus everywhere else. Jay?
Could I ask Ari, what was the first statue destroyed?
Oh, jeez, I remember hearing about that a few weeks ago. Um, it's one I liked. It's one I liked. Um, and it was a lizard folk. I know that, and that's why I liked it. Reminiscent of me. No relation, of course, no relation. But um, it was one of our great, um, one of our great militia. There was a squadron, a militia, if you will, of folks in our army that were only lizard folk. Um, they called themselves the Iron Scales, and they led a very successful campaign against um, the human and halfling army that had come to shore, uh, and on Makita mainland. And there was a statue here. Uh, where was it? Only a few blocks from here. Um, maybe 10 blocks north, and then 2 blocks over. And it was this large monument depicting all of the members of the Iron Scales together, um, with their leader. And that one uh, had been defaced by having all of them be decapitated. All the heads
Now,
broken off.
now, can you tell us where are the locations of the statues that haven't been defaced that we have on our list?
May I see your list?
I show it a list.
So she takes the papers from in front of you guys, flipping through them, and she says, "There's just far too many to count. I don't know exactly how many memorials are in this city. I think thousands. But the ones that haven't been hit, I think you have a wager of guess of measuring the ones that have been hit first. That's another. That might be the best idea if you guys undertake." And she starts. She goes, "I can tell you though," and she's on one particular page, a page that has a total of about 50 monuments, and 30 of them have marks saying they've been hit. She says, "I'm looking at each of these, and um, I can tell you that all of these." She takes a double look, a double check. Maybe not all, but most of these are within 15-block radius of each other. Um, and she says, "Tobias, come in here," and the halfling comes back in, the cook, and she holds some papers down to him. She says, I said that these were all within a 15-block radius of each other. Is that accurate? Would you say that's accurate?" And he looks over and he goes, "Yeah, I'd say so. I'd wager a guess there."
So, looking from how it's did from the first one of the iron scales to how each one connects, they're each 15 feet apart from each other, kind of going in from a zigzag line to each other.
No. I just mean that all of these are within the same 15-block radius of each other. They're all close
Right.
by-ish. That's just what I think.
Now,
Where is the middle of that area?
Of these, what, 20, 30 some that I found on this page?
Yes.
Oh, and she kind of looks at it and she's really thinking about it. Tobias, come back here again. And he comes waltzing back out and he goes, my legs aren't that big. And they both, she goes, help me figure out where the center of these are. He goes, all right. And they start looking through them. After a few minutes, um, they settle on one. They say, this probably is the closest to the middle. I mean, it's not an even shape. I would. I don't have a map of the city on hand. So it's not an even shape. As you know, the city itself is not some kind of even. Uh, but if I had to wager a guess, it'd be this one. This like the middle of these particular ones here. Um, because I will tell you, based on your list, that you've got dozens more that have been hit on other pages. This is just one particular page that stood to me because these are all so close. And the one that she's pointing at is a tapestry. That's the description of it, tapestry. Um, and there's a note on it that says um, skulls cut into um, the tapestry, like almost like they've been poked. Like if you were to hole punch something, it resembles skulls. Um, and um, the uh, the name of the tapestry, because all the monuments have names. The name on this one is um, Nobility of Kondo, Kondo. And it's got a capitalized K, so it's some kind of title. And if it's nobility, it's probably a family.
And that was the first one that was damaged?
No, the first
Oh,
one
no.
damaged was the Iron Scales monument.
That's
The
right, yeah.
nobility of Kondo is what she's imagining is like, what she's kind of figuring based on what you guys gave her, is the middle of those particular 30 on that one page.
and when was that
And
one? When was that
the
one
date
vandalized?
the date on that one says 6 days ago.
6 days ago. The first one was Iron Scale. Ability of Condo was 6 days ago. And then we just had the recently one with the General.
Yeah, the Iron Scales statue. She says that was the first one. Iron Scales that was done. That was hit maybe a month ago, a little over a month, slightly over. I'd say about a month. It's very shortly after uh, the water and the river started to decrease.
Hmm.
Now, looking at over the list and knowing that they're each 15 feet apart, and knowing that it
They're not
was the
15 feet
beginning,
apart.
I mean, a 15, what was it? 15.
They're
what?
all within a 15 block radius of each other. So if you
Alright, so
took
they're all
15
15.
blocks, random like a square, they'd be somewhere in that square.
Alright. Now, looking within that 15 block radius, is there any pattern that I can see from how it shows on the list of each statue being defaced? Because if we already know where the first one is, does it show on the list which was the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth?
They're not labeled that way except the dates. So I guess you could go and read through and try to figure out what the oldest one is, and then extrapolate the next one after that, and the next one after that, and start going through. Um, and so go ahead and give me a just give me perception. Let's see if you can quickly figure out which one is the middle, or not the middle, the second oldest.
Alright, so that is going to be perception,
Or
12
society.
plus 5, or society.
You can do society as well if you want.
16.
One of the two, whichever you think is better.
Alright, so 12 plus 5, 17.
17. Yeah. Looking through the pages, you can actually. I was looking for a 13. You can find the second oldest one. Obviously, you found the iron scales. Um, the second oldest one is actually on the page you guys had pointed out to you, and um, it is a cornerstone of a business in town that had it's a cornerstone. It's merely symbolic. It's just a stone that has some etchings on it and some carved names written into it, signifying that a business in town had been created by spoils of war. Um, and that's what the little description says. And it's actually called the Spoils of War. Um, and that was the next night after the Iron Scales a month ago. So a month and a day, or 19 days ago. Think of it that way. But the location on it is a business, an old one.
Alright.
So I'm gonna go check it out.
What?
Huh?
I'm gonna go hunt down a map so we can mark off potentially where these are to see if it looks like they're radiating out of somewhere or if there is a pattern to that. So I'm gonna look for a map.
Okay. Do you say that out loud? Or I mean, I guess you do. 'Cause you're talking to them. Aries says, if you're looking for a map, I would suggest if you walk straight out and go towards the main road from the gates, you will come across a library. They would probably have a few blocks up.
I'm gonna join Kai on this trip, but before I go, could I just get this 1 gold broken down?
Yes, yeah, she takes the gold and trades it over to 10 silver for you.
Alright, and I give her 2 silver and the other guy 2 silver.
Okay. She takes the 4 and she says, I'll give the 2 to him. Unless you want me to call him out here to give it to him specifically.
Yeah, I'll give it to him specifically.
Tobias, he goes, if I have to come out here one more time, and she sees money being handed, he goes, oh, well earned. It was a good meal, wasn't it? And he takes the silver and heads back into the kitchen with your time. Anyway,
Things change very quick when money gets involved.
everyone does. Money changes people, viewers. Don't get changed by money. Keep humble.
It doesn't. Fine.
Anyway, is Zombie joining this quest to the library?
He's gonna go along. Yeah. He's gonna
Okay.
just basically keep an eye out. He doesn't really going to the library doesn't interest him, but I mean, maybe
Fair
he'll
enough.
find something.
There you go. Maybe you will. Cool. So, you guys follow the directions daily given by Ari and up that main street, a couple blocks up, you come to a small little market-like square area that has a magic shop on one corner, a cathedral on the other corner, and then taking up the other side of it, both sides, is a very large library. And it has a big sign that says Syota Toshikan, which in Elvish means library. The doors are wide open, so it's 5:30 at night, maybe 6 o'clock by the time you get there, but it's not super late. You guys are fine. Anyway, you were able to walk right up. Looking inside the library, it is very strictly organized. All the shelves are very symmetrical. When you first walk in, it's a 2-floor building. Looking in, you see everything in neat little rows, with the entire outside filled with shelves of books. The only breaks in shelving you see are a few desks here and there for people to sit, like tables to sit down and do some reading. In the center is a large break, which is a very large, I guess, a fire pit. But there's no roaring fire; it's just gentle heat to make the place feel, the place seem cozy. But it's not overbearingly hot. Even if you're on the edge of the desert, it's not overbearingly hot here. It's actually semi-decent temperature feeling. Above you, there is two large openings in the floor, so be a balcony looking down in. But you can see from your vantage point kind of a similar setup. And off on either the other break in bookshelves you can see, or at the center on your left. When you first walk in the door, there is a card catalog system, and to the right, there is a desk, a square desk that has one flip up that person can go into, and there are 2 librarians working there currently. They seem to be going over a bunch of paperwork, and one has a stack of books they seem to be checking to see if they're damaged or whatever. One of them is a female human, and the other one is a female elf. When they see you walk in, they both give you guys a nod, and the human says, "If you need anything, please do ask, okay? But keep it quiet."
I walk over to them and I say, we're looking for a map of the city that shows monuments.
Well, there's no map that specifically shows monuments. I do have plenty of maps of the city. I can help with that. If you'll follow me, and she opens a little hatch on the square desk area and starts walking away. Just while we're walking, do the other 2 of you have any questions or concerns?
Nope. I follow Kai's path.
All right. So she snakes you through the path and stay on the same floor. She brings you to this one section of shelving that is a bunch of reference books about history, about geography, and one of them is relatively thin. She pulls it down and says, "I think this might be your best bet. This is the best map book. It's a few different maps. it gets added to every time a new currency is made. And so it's actually it's not bound by traditional binding. It's bound by like leather stripping, so it can be added to it. And she sets it down on a desk nearby. She says, "Just please be careful. It's quite old, you see." She goes, "I'm going to go back to the desk. I have some more duties to take care of. If any of you have any questions, concerns, or needs of me, find me again. And again, please be quiet." And she walks away. And she leaves you two devices. Are you going to study the map there, or do you want to take it with you?
I'd rather study it here because I don't want it to get messed up if we take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I gotta agree with her here. At least now we can have some time to think about this and just
Perfect.
think about it. All right, we got the list of the most recent one, the oldest one, and somewhere in the middle. Now we can kind of take a look at where these statues are placed and everything else.
I pull
Okay.
out my bag of marbles and I set it and I say, "Here, we can mark it with these."
That's smart. That's smart. So yeah, you go through the book and you see it actually, like she says, it maps through the ages. The beginning part of it is really old. It's just like the very first one is just a few tents. The second one is a small wooden fort, kind of like Fort Necessity, up in the mountains above Uniontown, PA. And as it goes forward, you can see the city forming slowly over time until it gets to what it is today. The city itself, as it is today, is. Do I have a good reference around me? No. The best I can think of is it's like a moon. Like think of a crescent moon. That's how the
All
city
right.
is designed. And on the inside portion of the moon, that's where the port is. It's almost like it's forming its own crescent bay, if you want to think of it that way. Um, and that is where the city is designed that way. There are sections of the city that are very straight, very grid-like, and there are other sections as it grew and started expanding that are getting less so. Um, it's pretty obvious that the edges of town closest to the desert, those are starting to get just tacked on because people are like, "Hey, where's space that isn't totally desert?" Um, but nonetheless, the last page is actually it's 2 pages. It looks like the map was cut in half, and that way it could fit in this book and be open all the way. And so it is, as you look down, it is just the map is this whole thing. Um, it's actually about the size of these books. Buy the book if you want to play Pathfinder. You don't need the book. Anyone can play with an imagination, a pen or pencil preferred, dice, and a character sheet.
Books are fun.
The books anyway, their books are about that size. They're fairly decently sized. Your marbles, I don't think they're huge, right? I mean, you're holding them, and you're only 3 feet tall, so they gotta be small.
Rude.
I told you before, I've got short jokes for days. My mom, growing up, was 4'9". I say was, she's still alive. So I got short jokes out the wazoo. I am 6 foot tall. Reference. Taller. So, um, anyway, you can easily place marbles. It does lay quite flat, so that you can lay them down without them rolling around. Um, and honestly, are you guys going to work at this for the rest of the evening? As long as you can? Or are you going to try to do it quickly?
I'm gonna take as long as I can to see if I can figure out a pattern.
Great.
Same.
I'm not going to make you roll for anything because you've got time on your hands. Given enough time, eventually you will succeed at something. So there's no point in rolling for you. So going through the list, you can easily start placing things where you where it gives the best idea of where they are. The map's not greatly labeled, but I'm sure at certain points if you guys get confused on where something is, you can easily ask one of the librarians to give you a hand of putting where they think everything is. And before long, you guys get a very good understanding of where everything is, and you have them all plotted out. Are you plotting out only the ones that have been hit, or are you going to do like, ones that haven't been hit be a different color marble? I don't know if you have different colors. I don't know what the colors of your marbles are.
Wouldn't think I would have different colors. It's just the ones that have been hit so far.
Okay, cool. You're easily able to do so. And looking at this, you can actually see a pattern. You can narrow down where they've been to a not 15 block radius, but a 25 block radius, where most of them have been done. There's one small outlier outside the 25 block radius, but so yeah, 25 block radius, 50-foot diameter or 50 block diameter. So it's pretty big still, but at least it's narrowed down. Trying to see if I can find something that's crescent shaped to at least give it a scope of scale. I just don't have anything nearby. Yeah, again.
Don't
But
worry.
if you had a crescent this big, let's just say it's this big, the 50 block radius is like somewhere down here. It's still big, or 50 block diameter. It's still big, but the city is huge. This is a big city. So narrowing it down to that 50 block or 50-foot or 50 block diameter circle is a big chunk down. So you guys do definitively do that. I will also tell you there is one other thing that is easily noticeable once you start looking at every single one individually. Every single one of them is either a lizard folk or an elf. Family, person, reference. Every single one of them is either an elf or a lizard folk of some nature.
So somebody has something out. It's out for lizard folk and elves, and it seems like it is something that has been festering for some time.
Make this time. I'm actually going to make you guys do a roll. Anyone that would like to, whoever's studying the map the hardest, make a perception roll.
Who's got the best perception?
21.
21. Looking over the list and remembering where dates were, you actually can see that these have been done in waves. Almost like it's been going in a clockwork, like a clockwork, clockwise shape. And they're, if you're looking at it from a circle standpoint, starting at the top and going all the way around, this section right here hasn't been touched.
Son of a bitch. I think we need to look in this area here, and I point to that area on the map. Say, pattern just keeps going, and it goes round, and this it seems like the next area that's gonna be hit.
And I look at the list of statues. Is there any noticeable statues that fit that criteria for the lizard folk and the elves?
3. There are 12 monuments in that section that hasn't been hit. 3 of which are either elves or lizard folk.
So we lowered it down to 3.
How close are they to each other?
About a 4-block difference between the furthest away.
So by the sounds of it, we can either put all our money in one, or tonight we can split up. We can just take it easy, act like we fit in, like we are vagrants, homeless, whatever, and just sleep near them. So that way we can catch whoever's doing this. We do not have to engage with them, but we just need to know who it is.
I'll tell you this as well. You guys looking over this paperwork, it does definitely look like up until you guys have arrived, there was a vandalism every single night. The difference you guys have is from the past 4 days. You guys have one from the morning you arrived, like one that was added because of the morning you arrived, and then obviously the next morning when you guys woke up in the inn, the presenter had actually added one as well. The person who came to your door and gave you the paperwork, they had added a note in themselves. You guys spent 4 days traveling through the desert and back. The city lord had told you about 2. Potentially there could be more. Maybe he just doesn't know all of them. But that's the only outlier. The last couple of days you're just not aware because you weren't in town and you had the paperwork, so nobody could update you.
I say we get our fill and we camp out.
Let's scope out the statues now.
But I haven't finished my drink.
Oh, are you carrying the drink with you?
I don't want to take the cup with them. What if I lose it? I don't want to owe them money.
You're at the library now.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. We're at the
Yeah,
library.
no drinks.
You just walk around town with open beer.
That's open carry, sir.
Put a lid on it.
Pull over.
Okay, so yeah, we're at the library. Yeah, I just say I recommend we camp out near the statues, scope them out, see who wants to go to where.
Okay. The 3 that you guys want to look at. One is a mural, like a like a Roman fresco style mural. Like it's in the ground, it's tile on the ground, with a little fence around it. It says, and it is titled the Battle of the Swamp. And it just says it depicts a fight near a swampy area in Alden area, which is what Alderney and Terra Anta used to be when it was still one continent. And then the second one is a small statue of a lizard folk. I guess you can call it a chariot, like a chariot warrior. I guess like kind of like jousting, but they did their fighting on chariot back. They did it that way. The last is a double. It's 2 statues next to one another. and um, they're titled Potential Next Line, and the description of it is at the time, Makita and by extension Soriko were under the Elven Empire, and they had an emperor or empress that was a family succession line. Uh, this monument states these two statues are the two people that would have been next in line if the current family at the time had all died. Um, they would have been the next emperor and empress. They were a couple. They were cousins of the current of that current time emperor and empress.
Quick question. Now, for the last four statues that we know, the latest one was the Elven General. Was the last one before that a lizardman, and then the one before that an elf?
Yes.
All right. So they're going from lizardman, then elf, then lizardman. So it could
Actually,
be
you guys
that
would
one.
know. Looking at the dates, that doesn't seem to correlate.
All
Um,
right.
there are some times that are more than one monument hit per night.
Gotcha.
Some nights there's only
You
one.
said you said that they're relatively close to each other, right? You said within
Yeah, they're
like
all within a 4 block
block.
radius of each other.
Well, I think we should each take one.
Definitely. Should we ask any vagrants if they've seen anything or if they've seen what time it usually strikes?
Well, when you are at, if you're, oh, we can do that for anyone who's around. Usually around one of the ones that's already been struck.
True.
But if we go up to these ones, there's no point in asking them because they're probably not going to know. Because if they spend most of their time around these monuments, they haven't seen anything.
Then I would say it's best to scope them out then.
Okay, so you're each gonna take one to go look at.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Um, right. So looking at the map, um, it's actually a gridded area these are in. So it's actually a square grid. Um, there is a road system that goes all the way around, and then it is bisected, almost like a window. And then there's also one going this way. There are a bunch of buildings on either side here. The one is up in this corner, the other one is in this corner, and there's one directly in the middle, like a direct catty corner line. Um, from you guys currently, the whole thing is about 10 blocks away. Not too far. Uh, so you guys are very easily able um, to figure that out. By extrapolation, you guys can see that the mural is this one up here in the corner. The two next in line are the one in the middle, and the one down at the bottom is the charioteer. The charioteer, I guess you the term that best be used. Obviously, you put your book back. You keep it nice and safe and put it back. And you guys take the leave outside of the library, and as you leave, the human who had spoken to you says, good evening to you all. Thank you for being respectful. Do come back if you ever need to. But remember always to be quiet. Um, and she bids you guys good evening. So who is going to which one?
Who wants who?
Which one has the least amount of like cover or places to hide? I'm guessing probably the middle one, but I'm not sure.
The least amount? they're not all the same. I mean, they're all near corners of major street hubs, and yeah, I mean they're all about the same-ish.
I'm fine with going with the
Oh, by the
furthest one.
way, it's about 8-ish at night now. The sun's starting to go down.
I'm fine with taking the furthest one. I just want to
You're gonna
find
take the
somewhere to sleep.
charioteer.
Huh?
Okay. You're gonna take the charioteer.
Yes.
Okay. Who's gonna go for the middle one, which is the two statues? Kaya.
Yeah, I will.
So I'll
All
take the
right.
mural.
All right. Fair enough. You guys are easily able to make your way through the streets. You've got a vague idea of where you're going, looking at the map, and you're also able to ask directions. There are people milling about. Um, the the guard presence is not as crazy heavy as you'd expect. The guards still haven't kind of recovered from what happened, so the numbers aren't quite bolstered just yet. Uh, but you guys arrive at the mural first, and then split from Ryan, head towards the two statues of the next in line. Kaya splits from there, and then Zavi, you can make your way towards the charioteer very easily. There's plenty of places to sit. There are some benches nearby. There's for the the mural nearby you is a small little like flower gardeny area. The flowers are all mostly dead, but there's plenty of benches to sit at, to look inconspicuous, and to glance around well within vision of the mural itself. Uh, the the two statues. There is a couple different businesses in and around the area. One of them is another inn, uh, and then there is a it looks like a rune shop, a magic-y shop nearby. Um, the inn has you can see from the one window that it's open and there's some patrons sitting. You can see through the window there is a table right up against the window that looks out and almost directly sees the statues. If you wanted to be there, you could be anywhere else though. There's alleys around nearby that you can kind of sit and hide in. And the charioteer, there is a bench nearby, but it's like almost right up against it. Um, but they're looking around. You can find a uh, small little like shack-ish kind of deal thing that if you as being a Venara could easily just hike up onto, and kind of scope out without being seen if you wanted.
That's what I would do.
Cool.
Climb up on top.
All right. So you guys have um, you're gonna do that. Where's Orion gonna hang out? Do you want to have him by those flowers to look? Do you want to find somewhere else nearby to kind of scope out to look as a
I
vantage
would say
point?
I would say alleys for that vantage point. That way I can just keep an eye on it.
Very easily doable. There's a couple. There's like two different alleys that are well within vision, visual sense of the mural on the ground. Um, for Kaya, what would you like to have her do?
Well, I want her to color herself to make herself look dirty.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna take off my jacket and shove it in my backpack. And then, because I assume my clothes are still pretty dusty from being out in the desert.
Maybe. I mean, I'd imagine you could have dusted yourself off at some point, but
If I'm not dirty, I'm gonna make myself dirty.
yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna like mess with my hair and make myself look very disheveled. And then I'm just gonna hide in an alleyway, look like I'm like huddling for warmth.
Okay. Very easy. So you're trying to look like a little vagrant slash homeless person.
Yeah.
Cool. For you, Kaya, give me performance, and the other two of you make stealth. And we'll just have that kind of be pervasive throughout your night of scoping out.
19 plus 7 for 26.
Perfect.
I got 11 plus 7 for an 18.
18, same here.
Okay. So we'll just have that. Like I said, we'll have that be throughout the entire night in case something does happen. Now, each of you make a perception roll.
Oh, what roll?
Perception. So we can kind of have you guys listening and watching and trying to scope the scene.
All right, I'm gonna use a hero point just to re-roll that because I just rolled a 2.
I'm using Face Fortune.
Okay.
I got a 14 plus 5, so 19.
All right, way better. That is with my perception plus 5. That's gonna be a dirty 20.
Okay.
I got a 19 plus 6, so 25.
All right. Take this one at a time. Orion, you're first in the order from the full slash we found. Kind of stick into the alleys and listening in around the area. You see people milling about here and there as the night progresses and gets, the sun starts to fully go down. Um, you see less and less people. Um, you do hear a few, random things happening throughout the streets. Like, there's obviously some like street cats and other feral animals that run around and do their thing. At one point you hear this loud crashing noise, um, and it kind of perks your attention for a little bit. But you look over at the monument and nothing is wrong, nothing's nearby. And then from the direction of the crash, you hear by, "You goddamn raccoon, get the hell out of here!" And um, uh, so everything is pretty good on that front. And as the night progresses, you begin to just kind of think maybe nothing's gonna happen. I don't know how long. I should have asked before. How long are you guys spending out here? Did you guys ever like coordinate what you guys wanted to do? Like, hey, if something happens, do this. Give a signal. Did you guys work out where, how long to stay and where to meet back up? I didn't hear that. But I'm gonna go say retroactively, it makes sense that you guys would do that. So if you want to work on that now, you can.
In case we say something, what signals should we give? Or should we try to make a noise or something?
At best, at most, you guys are 4 blocks away. At a quiet night, I'm sure you could be heard if you wanted to do something.
I also was thinking, worst case scenario, we can notice and catch whoever it is, and then report them. That's a backup. In case you don't want to make noise, in case you look and you get intimidated by them.
I was gonna say we can follow them, because if we can at least notice something and follow that person to where they are located, what's their home base, then we can figure it out. All right, this is the person, this is where they're located. And once we have the full information of where they're at and where they're located, we return back to the others at the inn.
Yeah, 'cause I don't really have anything to make it known other than by lighting a torch. I'd say if nothing happens by probably, well, Zavi be willing to sleep out there. He'd be willing to prop up on a bench and just take it nice and slow, and he'd probably fall asleep, but still.
I'm willing to go out all night because we have a couple of days to spare. We
Okay.
already
You
got a
think
good
the
night's
noise
sleep.
So you guys have the thoughts of like hang out here all night, meet back at the inn in the morning.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, all right. So going back to Orion, you just hear those basic noises for the longest time. Um, uh, Kaya, um, getting in your position, there are a few people uh, that walk past and kind of see what's going on, and a few of them even point out like, oh, it's such a shame. There's more and more of these out nowadays. And a little girl too. Oh no 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 no. That's a that's a that's an adult woman. That's a woman there. Um, well, that's sad as well. Um, and if at any point you have an arm outstretched, someone does give you a silver piece.
I'm not gonna do that.
um, like not like intentionally, but if you have one just kind of hanging out for a second, someone's not gonna. Obviously, you don't have a cup or anything, so yeah, someone's gonna give you a coin. Like I'm gonna tell you, you make a silver just by sitting out here for your performance. Um, Again, you also hear that clattering, and it actually sounds closer to you than it did to Orion. And you come to the realization from listening in that it's actually from behind the inn that you're nearby. Um, Maybe someone was taking out trash or something, and that's kind of the gist of what you hear. Um, uh, the inn slowly starts to empty out, um, and there are no more patrons inside. Uh, and some of all the businesses end up shuttering, as the sun goes down. All their signs stay closed in front of them, and from your alley you have a decent vantage point. And um, I will say one thing that the two statues they actually end up looking kind of imposing in the night. They are somewhat illuminated. There are lamps street lamps and stuff around that are lit as the night goes on with candles and stuff. But, beyond that, you see nothing, or hear nothing for the longest time. Um, Zavi, yet again, you also hear at one point the crashing and then somebody yelling at a raccoon or a rat or whatever it is. Um, and um, Nobody ends up seeing you up on top of this thing. You're not super, super high up in the air, but high enough that people walking past don't see some bloke hanging out on top of a roof of a small shack. Um, Nevertheless, from your vantage point, you were able to see the charioteer, and it looks old, but it doesn't look like it's been damaged as of yet. Um, but something different happens for you that you catch on to. You hear some whispering at one point, and you hear some heavy footfalls. Um, and you've heard it enough times, the sound of someone who seems like they're lugging gear. And What was your perception again, so I can remember?
It was 19.
19. Okay. And specifically, what languages do you speak?
Let me remember real quick here. Gnomish, Common, and Vinar.
Okay, well, that's fine. Um, you, um, yeah, it's, uh, you definitely can hear it. It's common. We'll just leave it as common. It's it's coming from somewhere behind you, from this one alleyway behind you, and it seems to be getting closer. And the first bits of it you can't really hear, um, but as they get closer and closer, you eventually can listen in the conversation, and you hear, um, "There's not much guard out, is there?" No, and that works to our advantage. It allows us to move at our speed. Hustling was not my strong suit. Uh, they say, which one is it tonight on the list? And the other voice, there's two voices, says, we're going after the statue. And it's time those pieces of shit pay for what they did. And the other voice, as they get right next to the shack, says, So those were the Emperor and Empress? No. Only if the others would have died. Um, he says, well, they deserve it too. They stole from us. And they keep walking. Um, and at a certain point, that conversation happens, and they come out from like the corner of the building that you're on top of, and you can get a pretty good image of their backs as they walk past. They are big. Um, they're both dudes. They're both bald, but in the night light, you have low light vision or just normal vision.
I believe just normal
Okay,
vision.
so you can just get their outlines. Um, and the fact that they're bald and pretty darn big. And they seem to be carrying a couple, like they both of them have swords on their sides. I do believe. Let me double check their spears. No, they both have what look like a hatchet or like an axe of some kind on their sides. Um, and they do have um, large, like sledgehammer looking things on their backs. Not like a war hammer, but more like an I'm gonna go to work kind of hammer. So probably not good for fighting, but from that I bet you can get a gist of what they're doing, what they're
Oh
planning.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Question. From this rooftop, is there any like anything that's stretching down from up here that's an easy way down, or like into a any way down into like a shadowed area?
on
Because
the
I
go
don't
ahead.
think I'm gonna engage, but I am gonna try and get the best look I can, or follow them after they're done.
Okay. Yeah, from this. So they're on the left side of you. If you're looking over the crest of this building towards the charioteer, they're to your left. On your right, up against the wall of the shack, there's a few box like crates that you could just easily jump down onto without making any noise. You don't even jump; it's more like just taking a couple different big steps and you can get down pretty stealthily without making any
Okay. Um, I'm just gonna try and get a better look at them, and maybe just try and follow them and see where they end up at to take care of
noise.
things, because I'm too small to fight them both myself.
Um, so whenever they crest around from where you were at, they actually pass in front of it. They seem to be going to your left or to your right. And the way you were facing due west. So they seem to be going up a little bit. And then they take the corner and go inward. And it's pretty obvious they're making almost a straight beeline towards the two statues that Kaya is at. And so when they pass in front of the shack, um, you can very easily kind of get a quick glance. I think from this vantage, I feel like it'd be possible to get a decent look at their faces. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Uh, you can see, um, not quite brutish face, but like it looks like it's seen some punches a few times on both of them. But the most distinguishing feature you can see is when the light hits right, you see two tusks coming up from the bottom teeth on each set. Um, and maybe the hint that maybe these guys are breathing.
I am going to follow them from
Okay.
a distance, but I am
Um,
going to follow.
so I'm going to have you make a new stealth roll against their specific perception.
Let's use a hero point on that. That is a 9 plus 7 for 16.
I'm not going to tell you what they roll. As far as you know, you haven't been seen. As far as you know, they don't know you're there. And so you get in line behind them. How far away are you looking to stick from them?
I'm gonna say I would never get closer than 20 feet,
Fair enough. Fair enough. All
but
right.
probably sticking between 30 and 40 most times.
Okay. So yeah, they make their way slowly. There's very little. There's no one on the streets during the entire jaunt over. You don't see a single soul. You don't see lights on inside houses. The only light you guys have is a few of the street lamps here and there. Um, they make their way through the street and get 2 blocks over and enter into the area where these 2 statues are. Kaya, your perception at the time was also 19, correct?
What?
Yours was also 19 whenever I asked you previously, or were you the one that was in the 20s?
It was 25.
25. Great. You hear them coming too. You hear them coming. Uh, um, wait.
You might
Okay.
even see me.
So the block where you're at is a pretty good rectangle like this. From your vantage point, if this is west and this is east, uh, here is a building. There's a small alley here, and then this is uh, the inn. And then above you, there's a small alley here, 2 buildings here, and the magic shop in this area. And there's a well right here. The statues are right in the middle, and they have a small wall around them. Like not quite a wall, but more like a fence railing kind of deal thing. Where would you be?
It would probably be the alley at the bottom.
Between the one building and the inn?
The inn, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when you heard that crash earlier from the rat and raccoon, it was really loud. It was like right around the corner from you. And obviously you would have heard the scurrying of some small animal. Um, that I'll tell you with your high perception, you did briefly see, and it was not a raccoon. It was a giant rat. Not like a giant rat, but like it's a big old sucker, like probably like this big. Um, and the guy just didn't see it right before it ran off. But anyway, you hear them entering in from the far eastern side. As they start to get closer, you can hear their walking. It's big, it's heavy. You can hear some of their gear slapping around. Um, and you can hear them both talking. Um, and they're both just talking about the situation at hand. Um, the one voice says, uh, "When we get done with this, I need a big stiff ale. It's getting kind of chilly out here. Need to warm my bones." Um, the other says, "Yeah, it does get quite cold here. I thought this was a desert. It doesn't get cold over by us." Um, they said, "Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just get this job done. Check to make sure no one's in the inn." And one of them walks over. Zavi sees this. Kaya hears this. One walks over towards the window of the inn and kind of glances inside, and looks around, and says back, "I don't see anyone except for one of the barmaids. But they won't give us any trouble." And says, "Good. I'll scope the northern side." And he moves up. The other one moves up to the businesses on the other side and looks around, um, and sees no one inside. Um, Maybe the businesses have their apartments above. I don't know, but there's no one here. We're alone. And then the one says, check the alleys. And they both split up, and they start to turn the corners towards the alleys. The one going on the northern side looks, takes a gander down and sees nothing. Kaya, you finally see a large figure come around the corner toward the alley you're in and start to walk down. He's going to see you. Anything that you want to do before he gets too close, or just kind of keep the persona up that you're just some homeless person. Quick.
Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Haunting Him at him. Once
Haunting
he's
him.
15 feet of me.
Okay, yeah. Once he's within 15 feet, he's advancing. He sees you, and he says, "What do we have here?" And he actually starts moving and going towards to grab. And so when he gets within 15 feet, you cast your thing.
It's a fortitude save.
Fortitude save.
Walking down the alley, just spell blast.
That is a 21.
Yeah, that saves.
Does he have anything that happens to him if he doesn't save?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. Obviously, he sees you cast a spell at him. He is not going to be happy about it. And he is going to pull his hatchet and go, Grum, we have one! And the other one from the other alley turns and starts making his way towards you. At this point, the two of them and you are going to roll initiative, unless, Zavi, you want to get on it too, then you would roll a stealth initiative.
I would roll a stealth initiative, and my plan is to attack the one who is trying to come in to help.
Okay.
Like, as he's running, surprise him up with a with a hit.
Okay. Let me put these guys on the map where they're going to end up being. And I'll get you guys in here. Okay, point of order, I was incorrect about the placement of the inn and the other building. I had them flopped. Just to give reference point. Anyway, let's do this. And then, Orion, you can also roll. Actually, I might have you roll whenever you find, unless. Actually, just go ahead and do a perception initiative to see if you can hear what's going on.
19.
Okay. Zavi, what'd you roll for your stealth initiative?
24.
Kaya, what'd you roll?
Got a 19 plus 6, 25.
What's roll high? What does this roll?
Well, I rolled a 14, but plus 5 is 19 altogether for me.
Perfect.
My perception is only plus 5, so I got a 19 plus 5 for 24, so Kaya barely beats me.
Yeah.
Well, she's
All right.
She's about to get smashed in the face with a hammer or a sledge or an axe.
Hey, she's a small target.
Here is our map. So Kaya, we have you down here in the alleyway. We have the one you guys know is an orc now, slightly above you, about 15 feet away. The other orc from the other alley is above here. Zavi is way over in this corner. This is you coming from the road to the east, going in a westward direction. And then, Orion, I have your token all the way here in the corner because you're just not really involved at the moment, so I don't want to be confusing. But the moment you are able to enter the area, if you do hear what's going on, then
Yep.
Although I'm going to wager that you can easily hear what's going on. With your role, you can hear exactly what's happening. There's some kind of fight going on. You could have heard him. Actually, you'd have heard him yell, "We have another one," or "We have one here." And so, from your placement, you are 2 blocks away. The total distance that you are away is about 300 feet away.
Gotcha.
So your movement speed is 25. So from where you start off, if you move 3 times, that's 75 per round. It's gonna take you a couple rounds to get there.
Yep, I gotcha.
All right. And we'll keep I'll keep a tally of how close you are. At any given time. Right. So, Kaya, you've actually rolled top, then Zabi, then Orion, and then the orcs. So, Kaya, you are first. I'm not going to count your casting that spell as your action. You have all 3 actions.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Dizzying Colors at the one in front of me.
Okay. What's that do?
It's a will saving throw.
Uh, 9. You gotta
Okay.
roll a 3 plus a 6, so 9.
So it had to be the 17. So it failed. So the creature is stunned 1 and blinded for 1 round and dazzled for a minute.
Okay. So, stunned, blind, and dazzled.
Yeah.
Interesting. So stunned. How many actions do you lose? Okay, so he only loses 1 action for being stunned 1. Alright, so his first turn he'll have 1 less action to take, and then next turn he's fine. But he's dazzled. Oh man, you're concealed to him. Well, everybody's concealed to him.
Yeah, and that's for a minute.
And then the blinded is for 1 round.
1 round, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's freaking out, man. He's freaking out.
All right, yeah.
He's seeing colors.
All right. Yeah, that's that. All right. What else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna cast Glass Shield around myself.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Zavi.
Well, my turn's gonna depend on one thing.
Okay.
With him, with the orcs closer to Kaya, yelling for the other one. Do I see what direction that guy starts going in? Does he come closer to me, or does he go away from me?
He is gonna go on the far side. It's less of a walk around for him initially.
So he's gonna go away from me. Gotcha.
Yeah, you can see him angled this direction.
Okay. So I guess lagging a little bit on my side, so I was just trying to get a good idea.
Gotcha.
Don't know why. Either way, I'm going to use then 2 actions to move right behind the orc. What is that? U13. That should be 45 feet of movement. And then from there, I am going to attack him with my sword cane and use sneak attack.
All right. Yeah, you're off guard, or he's off. Yeah, he's off guard here.
So 14.
14.
It's a hit.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Well. Yeah, that's everything then. That didn't work out the best.
All right. Ryan, are you using all 3 moves to get to the battlefield?
All 3 moves,
All right.
75.
Cool. All right. Now it is the orc's turn. So blinded. Yeah. And dazzled. So you're concealed. You can't see anything, but he's going to attempt to at least swing in the direction he thinks it is. So he's got to do a flat check to see if he even can attack you. That's with his hatchet axe thing. Rolled a 9 for a flat check. No, I don't. Does that even work? Because you're completely, like. Yeah, I mean, it's just a wild grab to see if he even can, so. Let's see. I'm sure he's gonna miss. Yeah, that's only a 3 plus 9, so I'm sure that's a miss. It's only a 12. He's gonna try again. Why not? Flat check if he misses that one. He can't even hit you. Just swings wildly and just does nothing. The other one, seeing the situation at hand, is going to try to come down here. It's going to use 2 movements, I think. So, 10 movement, okay. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And he's going to try to make a swing at you. 7 and 9, 16. All right. That's their turn. So now he's no longer blinded or stunned. He's still dazzled. Okay, so he still has to do flat checks to attack anyone. Right. Kaya.
Alright. I'm gonna move 5 steps forward.
5 steps? Like 5
I
feet?
mean 5 feet forward. Yeah, 5 feet forward.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Dizzying Colors on both of them.
Alright. What save is that?
Will saving throw.
Will save. Number 1 rolls a 19. Number 1's the guy on top.
So it's dazzled for a round.
It's what?
Dazzled for a round.
Okay. Number 2, the guy you already hit, gets a 24. So,
Okay. Still
dazzled again?
for-
Okay. He's dazzled for a minute, right? The one at the bottom?
Yeah. So he's
Okay,
dazzled.
so for this turn, they're both dazzled. Alright. That sucks for them. Cool. I think that's all 3 for you, right?
Yep, because I moved 5
Bobby.
feet.
With them being dazzled, I mean, I'm gonna try this. Or are they already considered off guard?
They're not off guard from being dazzled.
All right, then I'm going to tumble through, or tumble behind the one and go at a diagonal, bottom to my bottom left. So that's at 15.
Do you want to try to go from here to here?
Yes.
Okay. And you're gonna try to do your tumble. Okay, so make acrobatics.
Which is a 15 plus 7, so 22.
Okay. Against their reflex DC. Yeah, that's 2 and 9, so 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with him being dazzled, I mean, it probably would be very difficult for him to see me moving too, so.
Yeah, so you successfully tumbled through. So that now
Right,
makes
and
it so
then
that
I will swing it.
he's off guard to you, correct?
Yep,
Alright. Sweet.
thanks to the tumble behind feature.
Such a good thing. Alright, so
So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to attack with my cane, and that is an 11 plus 7 for 18.
that just barely misses.
Swing again. That's not gonna hit either.
Yeah, the number we're looking for is 19.
Yeah, that means I need to hit a 12 or higher on the die.
Alright. Orion, I'm guessing 75 3 times, or 75 again?
Yep, so I'm at 150.
Alright, halfway there. 2 more rounds. Okay. Orc's turn. Both dazzled. This one is going to pop up this direction. This way.
Dude, where are you at this point?
He's going to put his hatchet back and pull out a sling and try to take. He only has 1 attack he can do that way. He's lost an action by snowing. Flat check. It's 9. He's gonna try to attack Zavi.
How well is he gonna do that with his other orc in between him and me, with a direct sight line?
Yeah, he's not worried about that because he's dazzled. So
Maybe he is his friend.
I was gonna say you can lob shot it.
That's 12 and 9 for 21.
That hits, unless there's anything that's circumstance bonus.
Actually, yes. I think you would, because of the things you just mentioned. I think you have cover. The
I'm
guy's
very short.
being in the way. You get a. I'm gonna give it greater cover, so it's a +4 bonus. He's big,
That's 22 to hit then.
so he misses.
You does have a 22.
So he missed you. All right. This guy is angry, and he's gonna step right up to Kaya, and he's gonna attempt to hit you with his hatchet. 15 and 9. So 24.
Yeah.
Okay. 11 slashing. And he's going to let's see. We might do something really interesting here. Let me see exactly what it is. I might have to do that. I need to see the rules on it. It isn't worth it. Gotcha. Okay. He's going to look down at Zavi and say, "Your friend may blind us, but you think you really can take us on?" In an attempt to demoralize. So he's going to do an intimidation check against you. Roll a will save.
Ouch, that's a 9.
Better than him.
4 plus 5.
Better than him, I do believe. Yeah, that's a 2 and a 6, so 7. So I would assume that you're not very afraid of him.
We don't need to take you on, we just need to, get a good hard look at you, and, well, I already know where you're from, so. We already caught you, buddy.
Alright.
Might just want to get out of here.
And I think that's both their turns. Yeah, the other guy used the sling, the other guy. So yeah, they're done, I think. Right? Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
I did both. Alright, Kaya.
Okay, so first, the one that was dazzled for a minute, I would have needed to sustain it, so that's done.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Well, he still failed to save for your last one, so he still would have been dazzled again for that round.
He still would have been, but it's done now.
Okay. Thanks for being honest. I didn't catch that either.
I'm gonna cast needle darts at the guy right in front of me.
Okay.
Plus 7, that's a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Four, 2, and 2. That's 8 damage.
Right.
I'm also gonna scream at the top of my lungs.
What are you
Okay.
gonna scream?
No, I'm just gonna scream.
Okay. Yeah, that does something, and you'll figure it out eventually.
Does
Right.
that count as an action, be screaming?
Talking is a free action. We'll say yelling.
Okay. I'm gonna cast my glass shield again.
Okay. Perfect. Zavi.
I am going to try to tumble through again.
Okay. So what's that reflex save for him?
Tumble. Think.
Yes, he gets a reflex save of his.
Yeah.
That will be 29. You got a nat,
29.
you got a nat 20 on that.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Yeah, he beat my acrobatics. Anyway, I still make sure here.
You get a nat 20, so that's critical success. On his end.
So I don't really see any.
What was your total roll?
19.
Theoretically, that's 10 or more, so theoretically that's... There's... Your movement ends and you trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the square you're starting. It doesn't matter. They don't have a reaction they can use.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
So I'm just gonna try and attack him.
Okay.
And that is a 17 plus 7 for a 20. What is it, 24?
Hell yeah. Oh, also, I think your move does work through there, so you are effectively on his other side. Is this where you're looking to go?
Yeah.
Directly across from him?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It also makes it so the other guy can't hit you as easily.
And I make sure it's a D6. So that's gonna be 3 damage.
Okay.
And then we're gonna swing at him again for a 17 plus 3.
Plus 3. Yeah, that's 20. So yeah.
So a dirty 20. Really wish I had sneak attack here. That's 1 damage.
Let me see something. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Stumble through does not say that you have to go directly across from them. It just has you to go through them. If you want, you can have had it that your movement ended on P14, to put you directly across from Kaya. To be flanking.
Okay. I misread that, thinking tumble through like going straight across.
Yeah, it doesn't say that you have to do it that way. So I would allow that. That way you could.
So he's just top roll backing like in Dark Souls at this point.
Look at the little sideways thing. So yeah, he's off guard.
I go to roll, I go to like get around, I bump into him and I fall into the spot directly across from her. Because I failed. He caught me. But if that's the case and I get flanking then, which would put him in off guard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then that's an extra 10 damage, so that's 14 total.
Right.
And I make sure with one of the 2 hits, it's like 2 crosses, so it ends up with an X.
Oh, that hurt him pretty good. He's roaring at that one.
I signed my initial.
X.
X marks the spot. Get him.
All right. Is that all your actions? Was that 3?
Yep.
Okay. Orion, I'm guessing one more set of 75.
75, I'm at 225 now.
All right, one more round. Sorry we're so far away.
It's what it is at this point. I just feel like Goku on Planet Namek. I'm gonna get there, but when I get there, it's gonna be huge.
All right. He's gonna drop his sling and pull out the hatchet. and he's going to flank you.
This could hurt.
He's only got one attack, dropping and stuff, and pulling the other one. That was an action there, so then movements. Only got one attack.
Flank me, no flank you.
That's 12 plus 9.
21? Yeah, he's gonna hit.
All right. That's 8 slashing.
Ow.
All right. The other one's going to turn around and hit you as well, since they're both flanking you together. That's probably going to miss. That's a 6 and a 9, so 15. Although you have...
Yep.
It does hit with your -2?
No, it's not.
Okay. What is your AC?
Oh wait, I have a -2 to AC?
Yeah.
You're being flanked.
That still misses.
Yeah, I say it's only 15.
That's a 16 then.
Alright, yeah, so yeah, he misses his first strike. He's gonna attack again. That's gonna miss. That's 10 plus 9 minus 5. So 14. That's a miss.
Thank God.
And he's gonna take his third strike on you because he's just trying to swing wildly. He's mad. That's gonna be a 17 plus 9 minus 10. So 16.
That means 16, right?
Yes.
Well, it's been fun.
Alright, that's 7 slashing.
Yep, I go down. Because remember, I was still down 2 HP from the night that we
yeah.
in the last fight.
You guys remembered to heal from the night you guys camped, correct?
No.
I was still down 2 after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Kaya, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Needle Darts on the one right in front of me.
Okay.
Alright, that's 14 plus 7, so 21 to hit.
Yes.
Plus 4 is 8, plus 3, that's 11. 11 damage.
11. Okay. He goes down. Okay, so the question remains, did you kill him? Oh wait, no, you cast a spell, he's dead.
That's the spell, he's dead.
Okay, he's down. He's done.
And then I will cast Glass Shield on myself.
Okay.
Again.
Zabi, your initiative order has changed. When you take the dying condition, you move to the initiative order right before the effect that did the damage to you to put you down. So you're now before the orcs.
After Orion.
Correct. So now Orion is next. Orion, I would say, based on your movement, you could be anywhere between rows 12, 13, and 14, and all the way up to row or column E, included in your movement.
Put me on 13.
Alright. You want to be all the way up at E?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can get right there, no problem. Okay. Honestly, I'm not going to say it's going to take you all 3 actions to move there. If you want to have 1 action to throw one of your javelins, have at it.
Alright.
I think that's within range, right?
Actually, no, it's not even within range.
What's the range on them?
30.
Oh yeah, not close. Alright, well, you know what? Since I was going to give you a free action to attack, we can say you can move another 25 feet. How's that sound? Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sure.
5, 10, 15, 25. 5, 10, 25. So yeah, next turn if you want to, you can get right up on that guy.
Yep.
Alright, Zavi, give me a recovery check.
Nat 20.
Alright, so you are good at 1, I do believe.
If I'm correct, that falls under. Does that fall under the heroic recovery kind of thing, or no? That's if you use that. It's just that's just a quick recovery, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm immediately at 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can trying to use management.
You thought it was blood, but really it was just another bottle of wine that you snuck into your freaking armor.
Okay, so you're still down. You're just no longer at risk. It looks like. If I'm reading the condition correctly, you lose the dying condition if it reaches dying 0. But you can wake up as described in that condition, unconscious. So now you just have the unconscious condition.
I
Yeah, so
believe
you need to get at least 1 hit point in order to get back up.
I do have 1 hit point because I'm. Oh no, I don't have 1 hit point.
No, you're just at 0.
Do I?
You're no longer dying. You don't have to do any more recovery checks. You're just sleeping.
You're unconscious.
Gotcha.
But no more recovery checks for you. So unless you get hit again, you're fine. Orc. Yeah, he sees your friend coming. Gonna move out over here, and I am actually gonna try something here. He's gonna attempt a demoralize at you, Orion.
Gotcha.
I think so. That makes the most sense. Yeah. So he's gonna pull out his hatchet and put it towards Kaya and say, "We've already taken one of your friends down. Do you want to have her be next?" To see if we get you to be afraid or stand down or something. So that's gonna be garbage. That's only an 11 against a will be. Give me a will save.
Alright, that is going to be, with my will, 14.
Yeah, you beat him. You're not scared of him. Alright, did you say anything in response to him?
I spotted an orc. A true orc never fears for danger when it threatens and calls.
He'll respond back, "Ah, half-orc. Fine, watch your friend die." And he is going to go for forward with an attack on you. He's got the one action left.
On me or on Kaya?
Kaya. That's going to be a 17.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna use my shield block.
Okay, to absorb some of the damage.
Yeah.
Only 5 or 6 damage, 6 slashing.
Okay, so how does the shield block work? Because I'm not familiar with it, because I can only use it for this time.
Reduce the damage by the hardness value.
Okay, so my hardness is 2.
So
You said it was 5?
you take 3 damage. And the shield takes...
my shield breaks and does 1d4 piercing damage to it, since he's within 5 feet of me.
That's pretty good.
Damn.
It's gonna be a 4.
Hey, that's good. He hasn't had any damage done to him yet.
Unfortunately, I have 1 hit point left.
Oh, shit. Alright. That's all he can do, so Kaya, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to cast Daze at this guy.
Okay.
And it's a will saving throw.
That's garbage. That's 11.
Alright, had to be 17. That's 6 damage, and it is non-lethal.
Okay.
And I need to get away from this person.
Alright, you're gonna move?
Yeah, I'm moving back into the alley.
Yeah, you definitely want to get away from them. They do hit a little hard.
Okay.
That's orc for you.
Alright, Orion,
I thought
your
they were-
turn.
Put me right up to him.
Alright. You can easily do so. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, you can get like right there.
Alright, I guess I start swinging.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so that is 13 plus 9. That is going to be a 22.
Yep.
Alright, that's 1d8 plus 4 damage. Rolling now. Where the hell did it put you? There it goes. So that is going to be 5 plus 4. 9 damage total on that one.
Okay.
And then for the second attack, that is going to be 18 plus 4, another 22.
Yep. That definitely hits.
And that is going to be another d8. And that is 1d6. Or 6 plus 4, 10 damage. And that's non-lethal for both.
Alright. He's still standing.
I'm gonna try and game in time.
I'm coming in like Goku, coming in here, just smack him around.
He is still standing. Alright, he's gonna realize his situation, and he's gonna try to just attack you 3 times.
I activate my ability, Reactive Shield.
Okay, to raise it up. So an 18 to hit.
Nope.
Alright.
Nothing.
Second one. It's even less. That's gonna be 6 then 9 then minus 5. So 10. That misses. Third one. 3 plus 9 plus 10, so 2. That horribly misses.
I masterly just block, parry, and push him.
Before his turn ends, he's gonna look at you and say, "Do you know what the Morgando militia is?"
I know of the name, and I've heard of what you guys are spoken of.
Have you no pride for your people?
I have pride for my people, but I also have a belief to protect my friends.
And he looks at you. You are weak.
You're not the one that's right now being torn down. Or is that just you having allergic reaction to what a warrior looks like?
Damn. All right. Kaya, your turn. He can't do anything else.
Okay. Dave. Will saving throw.
Okay. As long as this hits, he is gonna go down because he had 1 hit point. So will saving throw. What's the number to beat?
17.
Wish I had a camera facing down the tray. That is a 9 plus 6. 15.
Oh.
So, he goes down, and this can do non-lethal.
Yep, so it's non-lethal.
So he is unconscious. The other one is dead.
I'm tying him up with rope.
Alright. As your guys' battle finishes, a few guards swarm the area. And look at the situation at hand. And question you, what happened here?
Well, we thought that they would hit one of the 3 monuments in this area, so we posted at each one, and they were coming to do this, to vandalize the statue. This one is still alive for questioning. That one is dead.
Alright. Let's grab them.
I'm asleep.
I'm gonna help my friend. Please tell them to get a medic here.
So the one guard says, "Alright, let's grab them." And with that, I think this is going to be a good place to end. It is getting a little bit on the later side for us. We will see how this all plays out next week when we all meet back up again. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I hope you guys enjoyed that little impromptu fight. It was a bit of a tough one. And to all of you, I hope you all enjoyed tonight with us. We enjoyed having you guys watch with us. But I think we're going to call it a night, and we will see everyone next week. Jay, anything last minute to say to everyone?
Yep. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more coming next week. Hit that like button.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Take care.